Okay, we are on. Here we go. All right, we are live on YouTube as Facebook, and good to have everybody today. This is Thursday. This is August the 22nd. Can you believe it? 2024, and we are still here. The trumpet has not yet sounded, although we believe it's out of the case and in the hand of Gabriel or whoever is going to blow on that thing. And the time is near. And I'm going to be very brief. This is part 2. Monday night we did part 1 of the return to Rome. I hope you got to see that. If not, it should be right below this one on the YouTube channel. You ought to, as soon as this is over, go and watch that. And I think you will be helped by it. Basically, in a nutshell, the return of Rome is about the world kingdoms mentioned in Daniel chapter 2 and Daniel chapter 7, though we didn't deal too much with chapter 7. Remember the statue, the head of gold was Babylon, and then you had the Medes and the Persians is the chest and arms of silver, and then you got the torso of brass, and then the legs of iron, and then of course the final kingdom that takes place during the Antichrist rule is the Roman revived empire, made up of the iron mixed with miry clay, the feet and the 10 toes. And the kingdom that you see in Revelation 13, 1 and 2 is that statue standing upon its feet with attributes of all 4 of those kingdoms all in one in this statue. Okay, you got that? Go watch the program. It was about 40 minutes long. I went into great detail and helped you understand the different leaders of those kingdoms, and where that it all basically, all the world's kingdoms go back, their roots go back to a place called Babylon. Okay? Babylon the Great. Babylon is fallen, that day is coming. So the final kingdom made up of attributes of Rome, Persia, Greece, and Rome, and Babylon, Greece, Persia. That final kingdom is going to be Rome. That kingdom came into existence 100 years before Christ, lasted till 500 AD, and fell because that kingdom had gone into debauchery and 300 holidays a year, and it just went bad. And there's a book you can find called The Fall of Rome. I still can't remember the author's name. Famous guy though from many years ago, and he gave 5 reasons for the fall of Rome. And boy, we can see those here in America. Okay, so let's continue now, just briefly. I've only got a few minutes, and I want to try to keep these brief anyway. I want to talk about the fact that Rome is coming back. In fact, it never left fully. It lost its world dominance to some degree, but it never left. Rome has always been in the background, especially the religious side of it. But the political and the power of it, as far as political goes and commerce-wise, took a backseat to other nations. But that's going to change. That system is coming back. It's going to once again rule the world. And you see that in Daniel 2, and you see it in Daniel 7, and Revelation 13, verses 1 and 2. And other places in the book of Daniel, chapter 11, chapter 8, other places. Problem here. This is not good. I lost that connection a second time. We are here. The Roman Empire is among us. It's here, and it's getting ready to take full power once again. And the Roman Catholic Church, I grew up Catholic. That's right out of the Babylonian religion, all the way back to Nimrod. It never left. It's still here. Rome was very powerful even in the 1500s in Great Britain. Henry VIII, in his early days, was under a bishop and a pope until he tried to marry Anne Boleyn and divorce Catherine. They wouldn't let him, so he threw them under the bus, started the Church of England. He became the head of state and the head of the church all in one day. That's going to happen again at the middle of the tribulation, that exact scenario. Okay, so Rome lost political clout over the years. They kind of latched on to kings and whatnot, and had power because they had the power over heaven and hell, and they used that religious power to scare people and to. Maybe I was somewhere else. I thought sure that I did a live stream right here. Okay, we're on again. So let me give you some attributes of Rome to help you see what I'm talking about. Okay, we're back. This is getting aggravating. I hate. All right, Esther, I think we're back. This is really, yeah, Gibbon. That's it. Thanks, brother. The fall of Rome. He gave 5 reasons in that work that he did. I can't see the first name. Okay, you have no idea how big 1776 was as far as getting people saved, preaching the gospel, because we threw off the chains of the Roman Empire, is what we did, to some degree, not fully. They've never fully gone away. Let me give you some attributes here that show that they're still here, and they are growing. Did you know 6 of the 9 Supreme Court justices are Roman Catholic? At least 2 of them chosen by Donald Trump himself. And don't expect Donald Trump to be a religious, a great stature of biblical knowledge, because he's not. That's not who he is. He's a man, a businessman, and I don't think religion has much to do with his thinking. I'm not saying he's not saved. He may be. I hope he is. But he chose Roman Catholic. His vice president, J.D. Vance, just became a Catholic not too long ago. You have to wonder about that. He didn't grow up in it. He chose to switch recently. Interesting, huh? Candace Owens. You know who she is, right? I remember 6 months or a year ago or so, I remember reading that she has converted to Catholicism. You scratch your head. That's all you can do. You say, what? Steve Bannon is a Catholic. Now, he may be a saved guy. I hope he is. I don't know. But he's Catholic. Do you see what's happening here? That never would have happened in 1805, 1812. The founders of our nation, they hated it. They hated the popes of Rome. They hated that system. And but we've lost that. Okay, so idols. Rome was known for idolatry. They had gods. They had dozens of different gods. And by the way, that goes right into Catholicism. The statues, and bowing down, praying to statues, and rosary beads, and all kinds of that stuff. Idolatry. We're into that today. It's back. It's right here in America. We have idols. Some of them have. Some of our idols are humans, and rock and roll people, and sports fanatics. Idolatry. We're a nation and a world that has gone deep into immorality. Immorality. By the way, Rome, filled with it. Fornication. The sin of Sodom. You know what I'm talking about there, right? The sin of Sodom. Yeah. Right out of Rome. Been there, done that, the Romans. Hey, blood sports, games, entertainment. What do we have today? Football, soccer, basketball. They're gods to us today. And it's more important to some people than anything else, including their job. Crazy, isn't it? So one more thing I want to share. Something that happened in ancient Rome before the fall of Rome. Do you know what was happening? There was a struggle between the Caesars and the Senate. Now, the Senate for Rome would be similar to our Congress. They were a governing body, but they had a Caesar. but Caesar would go before the Senate. And the Caesars got to where they felt like they were more of a god, and how dare those men in the Senate tell me what to do? And so the Caesars were trying to overpower and belittle the Senate, even to the... There it is. Okay. So, in closing, put fear into them so that he arrest and imprison some of them. Do you see that happening today? It may not necessarily be happening in the Senate yet, but it's happening. They've gone after Donald Trump. They've gone after his lawyers. You ever heard of anything like that in your whole life? And I see that coming for our United States Senate. If the Democrats lose the Senate or the House, I see that happening again. And by the way, this could happen. This could really escalate before November, where they could arrest people in the House and the Senate. Don't belittle that now. I'm telling you, history repeats itself. It's happened in history with Rome. Rome is coming back. It'll happen again. It could happen after the election, where they arrest people and get control of the House and don't seat the new president. They're already saying they're going to do that. This thing ain't over. And